Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the AI Shift. My name is Craig, and it's very good to be with you today. The AI Shift is your weekly 15-minute strategy session designed for business owners who want clarity, not complexity. Whether you're stuck in tool overload, scattered workflows, or just unsure where to start, this is where strategy meets execution. It's designed to reset your week, sharpen your thinking, and turn AI from hype into help. Hi, everyone, and this week we're talking about before you buy another AI tool. So, this week on the AI Shift, we're just going to delve a little bit more into buying another AI tool. And this week is deciding where intelligence actually belongs in your workflows, in your business, and why it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to buy another tool or an AI tool to achieve what you want to achieve. So let's go over what happens with AI. Every week with AI, there's an announcement, another assistant, another agent, another platform promising to transform your business, or another tool that can do this for you, generate videos, generate scripts, generate graphics, generate pictures. And every week I hear or read the same question. People wonder, should we buy this tool? I personally think that's the wrong question to start with. Before you choose any technology, you need to understand where intelligence actually belongs inside your business. Because AI isn't valuable simply because it's available. It's valuable because when it's applied to the right decisions. So with AI, intelligence is now cheap. That doesn't mean you need to put it everywhere and anywhere. And that is why you see and read and hear about people complaining they're overspending their budget on tokens because their agents are running around doing things, AI agents, that are sucking up the tokens when they don't need to be using tokens for every step of the process. They don't need to be using AI or intelligence everywhere. Sometimes it's just a matter of shifting data. Sometimes it's just a matter of copying something. So the first decision isn't choosing AI, it's deciding where intelligence belongs. And people don't do that. And the myth that we're going to bust today is more AI tools create a better business. They won't. It's not like adding more computers will create a better business either, or having more AI LLMs to use is not going to create a better business either. AI doesn't create capability. It amplifies the capability that's already there. If your business makes inconsistent decisions, AI will make those decisions, make those inconsistencies happen faster. If your standards are unclear, AI will apply unclear standards consistently. So technology isn't the problem. The business design is. AI doesn't create capability. It amplifies the capability you've already bought. So why does this matter? And this, again, you can have two businesses who use the same AI. They both may be using ChatGPT. They both may be using Claude. They both may be using Gemini. They both may be using the same one. Same technology, but they're getting different results. One sees enormous improvements. The other struggles to achieve any real value. Why? It's not usually the technology. It's the business behind it, and it's the business thinking behind it. One business has clear decision ownership, clear standards, clear decision criteria, clear escalation rules. The other doesn't. Same AI, but different businesses and getting different outcomes. The advantage, therefore, isn't having more AI, because everyone's got AI. Intelligence is now cheap, and that's why we talk about decisions, we talk about judgment, and now we talk a lot more about the thinking behind that judgment. So the advantage isn't having more AI, it's knowing where to apply the intelligence that you have available with AI. So the real starting point from our perspective is you don't start with the tool. You should begin with a business question, not a technology question. Ask yourself, what decision are we trying to improve? Who owns that decision? What information is needed to make it and make a good decision? And what happens if AI gets it wrong? And these questions will tell you whether AI belongs there at all. AI projects succeed when they begin with decisions, not software, not technology. So don't start with the tool. Think about the decisions that you are using AI for and whether you need to have intelligence there at all. So the AI connection. So we're talking about decisions and thinking, and how does that relate with AI? So most businesses think in terms of tasks, and most people think in terms of tasks. Get an invoice, process the invoice, approve the quote, respond to the customer. They're the tasks. But AI forces us to think differently because every task is really a collection of decisions. For example, invoice processing. Even though that may be set up in your computer, there's a number of decisions. Underneath that one task, there are multiple decisions. Is the supplier approved if you're buying? Is the customer approved? Does the invoice match the purchase order or does it match the customer's order? Is there enough stock? Is there enough budget? Should it be escalated? Is it someone asking for a bigger discount? There are a multitude of decisions in all the tasks we complete. We never think about the decisions because some of it just becomes automatic. And some of those decisions you've already offloaded to your AI tool of choice. Draft this email. Here are the parameters. Here's the context. Draft the email. You're then not deciding what words and what structure and how you write the email. You have stepped back from that and left that to AI. And now you are using your judgment call to say, yeah, I like this email or I don't like this email. Or maybe then you do another check to see whatever. Or you do the same with content. Want to write a content about this, and this. You give the parameters to AI. It goes and writes it because it has a larger breadth and depth of the knowledge of the topic than you do and comes back with an article. You then refine, edit it based on your judgment, based upon what customers you're trying to appeal to and attract, and then you produce the final article. There are a number of decisions that we just take as being automatic. But once you see the decisions you are making in a process or in an automation, you can actually see where intelligence belongs. Sometimes it's just collecting data. So map the decisions, not the workflows. So there's one question that we want you to do this week, after today, on Wednesday, or during on Thursday or Friday, is just ask, where does intelligence actually belong in this process? Should AI recommend? Should it approve? Should it escalate? Or should it simply assist someone making the decision? Do the research, present the report. Not every decision needs AI. You're not going to put AI into every part of your business because it's not required. You will be blowing your tokens budget if you've even contemplated setting a tokens budget. Now, the tokens don't apply when you're just sitting with typing into Chat, GPT or Gemini or Claude or whatever, as in a chat bot where you're just talking, but it will apply when you start using agents. And it will apply when you start having AI agents go and do things for you that do automatically. Collect this, run this, analyze this, check this, whatever. That will start to begin to use your tokens. And you need to start formulating a budget for that. I always now, from reading how electricity, when it was invented and then started to apply to the real world, what industries and businesses and business leaders went through with electricity and how it transformed their business, I relate AI as having the same transformation. When electricity came along, it really changed the way business was structured, how factories were structured, how workflows were structured, how manufacturing processes were structured. It changed the whole nature of the way a business was designed and operated. The same thing applies to AI. But like electricity, you don't have 20 lights in your office. You don't have 50 PowerPoints sitting in your office. You have the PowerPoints and the lighting at strategic locations. Same thing applies to AI. You have to place intelligence where it creates the most value. So one action after today is choose one recurring business process. Don't start by mapping the workflow. Instead, list every decision that happens from beginning to end. It may get a little bit difficult because some of the things that you know happen are just automatic. They're just ingrained. And you've never really had to think about them. Maybe they were already in the business when you moved there, when you took over, and you know that this just happens. But map every decision. And then think about where should that intelligence come from to make that decision. Should it be a person? Should it be AI? Or should it be both? Think about what decisions are being made and what is needed to make those decisions. So you design where intelligence belongs before you buy another AI tool. You may not need that AI tool. So that's your one action this week. I hope you take the time to do it because you'll find it extremely beneficial to you and how you structure and transfer your business with AI. The businesses that win with AI won't be the ones with the most tools. They'll be the ones that understand where intelligence belongs. Because AI isn't the transformation, better business design is. And once you've designed that, AI becomes one of the most powerful levers you can apply. Extremely powerful. So that's your one action this week, is to start mapping your decisions and see where you actually need to apply intelligence into the making of those decisions, and whether that needs to be human, whether it needs to be AI, or whether it needs to be a combination of both. And I think that once you start to do that and continue to do that, you'll get a lot more benefit from utilizing AI into your business and designing a business that utilizes AI. But thank you for joining me again this week for another edition of the AI Shift. It's been my pleasure to bring it to you. Please leave a comment, a note, a question or so forth below to help us improve. Some things you might like us to do or recover or go back over, or new topics you think should be looked at for the future. But I hope you take some time the rest of the week or over the weekend to map where decisions are made and to see what sort of intelligence you need to apply there. But that is us for this week's edition of the AI Shift. I look forward to catching up with you next week when we present another edition